Oh, hello and welcome back to my channel. Or hello if you are here for the first time. My name is Kelly Joanne. I'm a brand and marketing consultant. I help solo entrepreneurs and SMEs to get super organized in their marketing, strategic, and build marketing endurance, and also work on their mindset. So, hello. It is autumn in the UK here. I appreciate I'm wearing this fleece probably for like the fourth or fifth video now, but it's just going to be here for the whole of the winter. Um, I also have my cat next to me. Um, Tripod. We had to put her down not long ago. Put her to sleep. She was an old lady, and I got a cushion printed, so she might appear in some videos as well. So she's going to be sat here next to me. Um, so this video is actually a little bit going to be a bit of an ad hoc topic. Normally, I plan them as like a very over organized, proactive marketeer, but this one I was like, I've been learning a lot of stuff recently, and I'm just gonna not wing it, but I'm just gonna share some things that I'm learning more around mindset as a business owner and a solo entrepreneur. So, as I said, like I am a marketer. I am I guess, a creative. I'm not quite sure what that means sometimes, but I definitely have this entrepreneurial part about me for definite. Um, I remember when I was in corporate days, or even when I was a lot younger, and I was looking for like my first jobs. I would be like thinking of this and that. I want to be like a hairdresser. I want to be work as an air hostess. I wanted to be in buying for fashion. I wanted to do all of this different stuff. And I think the main thing for me was just to do something I was really passionate about, where my ideas could flow and things like that. Um, so I guess along the time as well, being in corporate, I've probably felt completely out of alignment as well. I've always worked in roles that, like businesses that I felt kind of attached to in some way. Like I worked for Boots UK, they were doing great things. They were supporting women, making them feel better. They supported Macmillan cancer support, and they were all about bringing the best out of people as well, through their products and their services and advantage card points and this, that, and the other. And I worked for the University of Derby, so we were supporting young people with their education and careers and things like that. So it was always a great brand to work for. But I guess like mindset wise, and the just the environment wise, just never really worked for me, which is one of the reasons why I went by myself, purely because I was capped on kind of what I could do in life, the people that I could hang around with and talk to 8 hours a day. And I really probably started on the mindset work quite early on. And that is a huge part of what I do now. It's a huge part of the fact that of how I work with other business owners now. So I have like this parallel of, and sometimes feel very contradictory in the work that I do as a marketing consultant now, but I'm kind of working through this like realignment for myself as well. So this parallel of work that I'm doing is very much this like marketing consistency, strategy, planning, repetitive work, psychology of the customer and consumer, and kind of a bit tick box sometimes, kind of looking at trends, what's happening on different platforms, social media messaging, all of this sort of stuff at the same, which feels quite masculine energy a lot of the time, but I am quite a masculine led human being anyway. And then this like newer developed version of me, and this consideration of people, where this parallel line underneath it is mindset, self-development. It's more feminine energy. It's attracting in, it's really working on yourself and understanding who you are and how you want your business to flow, and sitting back and reflecting and, yeah, just allowing things to come to you more. but also doing your marketing in a way that feels aligned to you. So I'm just going to talk quickly on what that feels like when that doesn't happen, basically, because I felt it quite strongly as well. So I guess this like layer underneath is what I'm going to talk about now, is this kind of feeling that you'll get in your body when you're not doing something, no matter what it is. Doesn't even have to be in business, when you're doing something that just doesn't feel, that isn't right for you. And I'll use the example of, over the last couple of years, I'm quite new to being a marketing consultant and a solo entrepreneur, even though I know I have like the skills and the mindset to do it. Being and working for yourself, being a solo entrepreneur and working for yourself is a whole different level. They say that it's like self-development on steroids, and I fully agree with that, like absolute fully. So when I started in my business, I never really overthought what services I would put together, or try to design anything, purely because I was like, I'll do marketing for people. I don't really know what that looks like, what people actually want, because I knew I'd be working with so many different people. It looked very different for very different people. So I spent about 2 years nearly just speaking to different people, seeing what people asked for, knowing that I was flexible and I could help lots of different people, um, and kind of worked on a one-to-one basis in terms of how I wrote a proposal. But personally, for me, I'm probably still in this space a little bit more now, just trying to reposition myself. But personally, for me, I ended up doing work where I was like, this is just, I just don't want to be doing this. A lot of it stems around social media and the doing of social media. And I think as a marketing consultant, you're kind of, there's this point of people expect you to do social media, um, and do the doing, rather than you positioning yourself as, I'm a consultant and I'll advise and you need to do it, but I can train you on how to do it still, but not taking on that role, I guess. So anyway, this made me, and it has made me feel for quite some time, this, okay, I know I want to work for myself. I know that this is the right path for me and it feels very bright, but actually I feel just out of sync with actually what I am meant to be doing. I'm less of this like doer, but more of this guide, to show you how to bring all of this marketing stuff together. Um, so felt particularly last year, along with some other things that were happening in life personally, just I kept saying to my partner, I just don't feel right. Like the inside of me feels fizzy. Like I couldn't describe it in any other way. So I had some other things that were happening in life as well. But on the contrary, these things that were happening to us personally in our like household, were actually pushing us out of my comfort zone for the right reasons. So I couldn't distinguish if it was my business that wasn't right for me, or if this other stuff we were taking, being a part of, other brands that we were partnering with, wasn't right for me, or if I just was so tired, like I just needed some sleep. I also had like some health issues with a bad back, and my cat was back poorly. Yeah, there was a lot going on, and I just couldn't distinguish what was happening. So let me tell you what was happening, because this is the bit that you don't get taught as a solo entrepreneur when you're. So what was actually happening was like nervous system, like deregulation. So there's this part, I guess, within your body that I've really learned over the years, that you've obviously got your mind, like the what's going on in your head, like the thoughts that you have, all of the programming, your subconscious, your conscious mind, being present, being stuck in your thoughts. You have all of that going on. A lot of this that's happening in your mind and in your heart as well is coming from the past, and that will determine where you're going to get to in the future and what your limits are, unless you can work through that. So that's a huge part of it. But so there's a thing called corporate detox, where you have to basically unprogram yourself from ways of working, approval processes, office politics, just the 9 to 5 working more flexibly, all of the stuff that you think is normal life when you're in corporate versus when you are totally free and working by yourself, because it's not as like freeing sometimes as what you expect. So almost like that disappointment phase, but all of this stuff that's happening in your head, to just being really logical and present with, okay, today I'm going to work on this, tomorrow I'll work on this, and almost just being a big cheerleader for yourself as well. So there was all of this stuff going on, trying to logically solve certain problems, but being in this almost like nervous system deregulation state. Then you've obviously got your heart. So your heart and your mind are fully connected. I knew if I sat down and took a minute, I was like, this is the right path. Like it feels like the right path. Both this personal stuff that was happening, these brands that I was partnering with versus me as a marketing consultant, it felt like, okay, it's right. It is the right thing. And then this nervous system deregulation, this fizzy feeling that I would feel in my body was the fact that I was doing certain work that wasn't working for me and isn't where I wanted to go. So it was like getting my heart, whereas logically my mind was like, it's fine, like it's almost like easy work for money. But my heart was like, no, this is not the path for you. This is not what you should be doing. And also the feeling of like, okay, now I've got to reposition myself and there's more work to do here. But this nervous system thing was happening as well because of money, this reprogramming that I needed to do, the thoughts that I was having. You will feel that as a solo entrepreneur. You will feel this. Say, for example, take the example of when you write a proposal for a new client and you're trying to price off value, but your thoughts are saying, like, I'm no good at what I do, or like, how the hell can I charge that? Like, how can I show those results? Or I haven't got those results yet because I'm really new to this. You actually then saying the words to somebody about how much you charge or what you charge for your value will throw your nervous system off completely and make it feel fizzy. I can't explain it in any other way, but you'll have this like absolute ick moment within yourself. That feeling is basically your subconscious and your programming from over the years and the things that you've said to yourself basically being like, no girl, that's the words that you're speaking don't match with what you've told me for like the last 42 years. That's all that is happening. So as a solo entrepreneur, what you have to do in those occasions is, and I've been talking to clients and members of my marketing confidence club about this, is basically be like, Kelly, you've got 16 years of experience in this. You know what you're doing. You've got this. You are safe. You are worthy of this. You deserve this. This is what path that you're going on. And literally talk yourself into that, like cheerleader, be that cheerleader for yourself. It sounds so cliche and cheesy, but what I've noticed is affirmations saying, I am so happy and grateful that I have 100K a year business. If you can't see it, it makes your subconscious be like, well, that ain't true. I can't see it right now. But if you start to like really cheerlead yourself, that is something that you kind of can't go back on, because if someone else was saying that to you, you wouldn't be like, no, that's not true, or shut up. You kind of like that when someone else is like, go, 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 you've got this, you've got this. You have to keep talking to yourself like that. You've got this, you've got this. And along with that, the other way to regulate your nervous system is literally just pausing, breathing, and um, allowing your mind to wander and then catch it, wander and catch it, and bring yourself back to your body, like how your body feels, how you can feel yourself sat on the floor. Every time you let your mind wander and catch it, that's like a little bicep curl for your brain, because you're controlling it in a positive way and bringing it back into the present moment. All that as well sounds very cliche, but it is literally the only way to regulate yourself. Another thing that I do to regulate myself is just focus on like I guess income generating or my business tasks that I'm like, okay, this is moving me further and further towards what I actually want. um and just scribbling down on pieces of paper like, okay, I've got this over here, that over here, this is making me feel shit, like this is happening here. And start to like cross them off or like mark them in different colors and decide, okay, this is the bit that I know doesn't work for me. Just to acknowledge what doesn't work for you and what you love, and having it all in front of you visually can make you then be like, can then help you go, okay, next time I get asked to do this type of work, I know it's marked in red. So I'm going to have to say no now. Like I'm not going to be able to do it because I can see that it's marked in red. So they're the few things that I do. So fully like, firstly, acknowledging the fizzy nervous system deregulation, know that it's going to happen and it will take place because we're growing and developing and we've got a ton of reprogramming to do. Really sit with, okay, where is this coming from? And like logically be like, I feel gross having this conversation because actually I came from a household with a single parent who didn't have a lot of money. And now I feel kind of gross charging this much because of this and this. Like just say it out loud, write it down, pop it to one side, sit and breathe. If you feel like you're out of alignment with your business, like start to write it all down. So you've got that visual. And then when you need to go into another scenario that makes your nervous system fizz, be like, I've got this. Like even on a daily basis, just be like, stare at yourself in the mirror when you're putting your makeup on or like doing your hair, putting gel in your hair, whatever you do, brushing your teeth, and be like, you've got this. Like today it's going to be tricky, but we're going to get through it. And we're going to assess how it went at the end of the day and be super honest about it. And then the next day is a new day. Like, and then just keep moving on and moving on every day, one step at a time. The more that you not push your negative thoughts aside, but the more you don't allow the repetitiveness of your thoughts to take place, because the more and more that you say the bad stuff to yourself or that obvious like imposter syndrome terminology, you're just reconfirming to your subconscious mind that that is true. You need to be able to acknowledge that you're doing it to start with and then replace it with something else. And that will make you feel safe and your nervous system to be like, okay, we've got this. Like there's no reason for me to try and look for danger right now because there is none, because I know I've got this. I've done it before. It wasn't awful. I can improve on it, but I've got this time. So they're the things that I do. The whole talking to yourself bit, say it out loud, like say it as you're walking down the street, all of that sort of stuff. I do a lot of sports. I'm an athlete and I've had to do that so many times in races, be like, stop moaning, get on with it. Like you've done this a million times before. You can run at this pace. You can swim that far. You can do this, do that. Like head down, crack on. Like I have to do that to myself. So I'm starting to do that to myself in business as well. So yeah, nervous system regulation as a solo entrepreneur is probably the title of this video then. Something that you're not taught, something that I'm definitely learning about. And it's something that, although I'm not qualified in it in any way, it's my experience, which makes me an expert in it. And I definitely weave into the Marketing Confidence Club. You are a solo entrepreneur and you're looking for some more marketing help, but you're feeling like, okay, the logic of marketing makes sense to me. I'm kind of struggling to piece it all together, but there's just something about marketing that just doesn't make me feel good. It is probably this element, this like nervous system deregulation that you have because of all of the programming that you've had over the years. And actually, as a solo entrepreneur, you have to big yourself up. You have to say what you're good at. And that's hard sometimes. Sometimes having someone else next to you to do that is the only way forwards. So I'm here to help you to do that as I do my own. And I can recognize these things in other people better than when I can do it for myself, to be honest. So I'm here for you in the Marketing Confidence Club. We do fortnightly training. I do Q&A sessions. You can DM me any day of the week or message in the public community with your marketing questions or anything like that. And I'll answer them. I'll be there for you. I also throw in loads of like insights and things that I'm hearing on the ground as a marketing person, things that are working for clients. I throw all of that in there as well. So you can get fully involved. You can sit back and just read, watch the training materials, DM me. You can play it however you want. There is no pressure to be public in that space. Yeah, and that's the flexibility and freedom that I wanted to create with the Marketing Confidence Club as well. So I hope that's really helpful. Thanks for joining this video. See you on the next one. Goodbye from Tripod. How cute is that? I can't even. She's got like a little bit of slobber there as well because she was quite a drooly cat. She's huge. She wasn't that big, but I love her. So goodbye from us. See you on the next video, probably wearing this fleece. Please like and subscribe to see more of these videos on marketing in general. how to do marketing, how to get organized, how to get strategic, mindset stuff. And I'll start feeling like a massive contradiction. See you next time.